Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Looks like we have some people on today. Good. Is everybody okay? Can you see me and hear me all right? Hopefully all is good. So as you know, I always like to start with my cards so we can wait for people to pop on. And since we are doing a channeling of the Messiah of Jesus, it's something that I've done kind of before, but not directly. Um, and I thought, why channel Jesus when he's in all of us? And for some reason, I just felt like I really needed to connect with him and give some words to you. And so, as you know, I always pick cards prior to the reading, and I thought these cards were amazing. So we got the butterfly card, and many of you know that the butterfly is rebirth. As it goes into the cocoon, waits a while, and then comes out a beautiful butterfly. So I think Jesus is the rebirth. Um, you can be reborn. And so this says you can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. So that's the butterfly. And then I thought this was amazing to change. So sometimes in our lives, we just get into that same momentum, the same structure of life. We do everything the same. And it was really funny because my dad lived in Tampa, Florida for a while. And I would go down and visit him. And he lived in like Sun City Center. It's a senior place. And we would go on the golf cart to the grocery store. It was like so cool. And so we get to the grocery store and we park with all the other golf carts. And he always started at the same place of the grocery store. He always started at this end and then went this way. And I go, Dad. He goes, what? I go, have you ever started at the other end and went this way? Or started in the middle? And he goes, no. Why would I do that? I go, just to change it up a little bit. So we did. And I don't know. I just thought sometimes you just have to change it up. And so this card says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. And I think this is always the thought process why I love books and I love learning, because I don't know everything, and I know you don't know everything, and some people know more than we know, or different things than we know. And so I just think learning is grand, or learning promotes thought. That's what I love, is learning promotes thought. And I posted something about the shack this weekend. Now the shack is kind of controversial. So I watched the excerpt that this man put out, the meaning of the shack, which the shack is you. The shack is the shambles within each one of us. We have all gone through something. We're not going to come out of this world unscathed. We all have to go, pretty much. He said like 80-90% of the people will come out with some sort of abuse or something that you have to work through. And so I watched him and why he brought the shack forward. And it was divine. It really was. If you watch that video, it's on Amazon, of the shack, the meaning of the shack. The first part I wasn't quite sure about. I almost turned it off. But wait, when he gets into the part where he starts talking about his life and his sins and downfalls, and then it all made sense to me. And it made sense why it needed to come forth, because in a realm of many religions, I think there's only a handful that are doing it right. Many people may get angry on that, but I think we need to discern for ourselves And I think Jesus promoted thought. He promoted change. He promoted wisdom. And he wanted us to follow God. He didn't say follow a certain church, because he said follow God. And basically that's kind of where the shack was going, is be careful and discern for yourself, um, in some of these structures, and because they can do more harm than good. As you know, I was raised Mormon, and so it was a lot to evolve from. When I left the church, they let me know there's a thing called buffeting of Satan. And so I thought I would be attacked by Satan because I didn't have the protection of the church anymore. And I waited and waited and waited to be attacked by this buffeting of Satan. And I was scared to death. I thought, because I was a hairdresser and had a really successful salon, and I thought it's going to be destroyed. People are going to come. Everything's going to be destroyed. I'm going to be destroyed. And come to find out, nothing happened, and I became more successful. Once I had that awakening, then I moved forward in truth, and I wanted to learn more and progress more. So that's part of my story. Also, I want to thank everybody that is starting to go over to my Patreon page. I'm going to start really building that up. I'm going to do something every week on that, which is not going to be on here. You know, I've done this channel for over 3 years, and I've done it for free. I've never asked you for anything, and I don't want to, because I have a full-time job. In the other place, it is very nice to be able to have some compensation, and so I will give you as much as I can, because I know even $1, $5, that's hard-earned money, and I understand that, and I want to serve you, and I really appreciate that, and thank you very much for that. With life of living going up and our pay not going up, um, little bit so helps. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit of your discernment on the jab. It's going huge here in Idaho. All the hospitals have joined to do a mandate, and the mandate will be September 1st. Every worker, employee, contractor, I can't remember the other, what they put in there, has to have the vaccination. They didn't state yet the ramifications if you did not get that. We don't know if people are going to lose their jobs. So we're doing some, I'm not, but they're doing some rallies here in Idaho. So we have a voice. It's actually very interesting because I do work in the medical field. We're wondering if it's going to come down through the medical field. Our work may start discussing that. And so 80, I believe, I'm not sure on this, but 80% of the people have been vaccinated in our jobs. But there's 20% of us that have not. I have put 20 years into this field, and I have worked from going from a creative hairdresser to medical field office personnel. And I hate to give that up. But if I'm forced to, by a mandate, get a jab, I will probably have to find new employment or a new place to live or move. I'm not sure. And I chose not to worry about that till it happens. It's choice. And those are the people that have gotten it. That is good. That is fine. This is just my choice. This is just the 20%. And unfortunately, 20% of us work for the hospitals. We have our offices in the hospitals. I work 3 days a week in the hospital. So we're concerned about that. Are we going to have to switch out? And if this mandate goes solid September 1st, are we going to have to then go full force to our independent medical office and then have those that have been vaccinated work in that office? So everything is really up in the air now. We really don't know until, I guess, closer to September 1st. I have just been told over and over and over again for me not to get it. Now, many people almost all the people that I know that have gotten the vaccination, the jab, I shouldn't say that, have been fine. They've been fine. I personally was told no. So I am just going to stay with that. And then I have to trust in God because I think sometimes faith over fear has to be in play. And so that is that. So let me read with you a little bit of what was given to me last night. And then I'm going to go into the channeling of Jesus. And what I see, and I'm going to try to keep my emotions in check. You know, I'm a crybaby. So I'm going to try to keep my emotions in check because I've been very emotional because of course you are. You're channeling Jesus Christ. So I'm going, okay, Robin, keep it dry. Don't cry. So let me read this to you. Oh, okay. Let me talk about two more things before we go into this. I am thinking of putting a volunteer group together. And I am going to call out to anybody that wants to be in this volunteer group. I'm thinking because I'm getting emails of people that have some woes in their life, some hurts, some ills, and email me at robinhyatt@yahoo.com. And I want to gather those together every month, and I want to have a group pray and energy, Reiki, whatever. We want to send it to you and see if we can't help you. So if you are interested in becoming a volunteer group, in this volunteer group, and this came out through me after I wrote this excerpt of Jesus, this just came to me of this volunteer group, that it's time for us to help each other. And now that I know I have some really strong presence of people on this YouTube channel, and so I need your help. And I can do it by myself, that's fine, but it helps when we have a group, and I have so many of you that are so strong. Just email me if you're interested in this. I'm thinking of gathering together, like on Zoom or Skype, where we're all live together, and I will conduct it, and we will do a prayer and an energy to each one of these people that puts their name in so we can help them. So if you're interested in helping me with this, that would be super cool. And then we can start growing stronger on this, and we can start helping our fellow men that are distantly. Also, I put a shout out for Ashley that's having surgery on the 18th. Looks like I have one light worker that has been working on her. And so I ask several of others of you to pray for her, send energy to her of healing. And on the 18th, and I'm going to remind you on this again, let's get together and let's prayer heals things. So Ashley, we're here for you, and we're going to see if we can really get you healed up, because you have a strong mission to do, and we got to get your body healed so we can help you, and you can help yourself, and your family can help you to move forward, because you're a strong light worker. We need you. And so let's get your back healed, and let's get going on getting your mission going. Okay, so this is the conversation with Jesus that I wrote last night. I posted this also on my Patreon page. So Jesus said, we were talking, it says, in my early years, there has been, let's see, I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. So everybody good. Okay, no one's saying that they can't hear me. And I hope it's not in strobe. So in my early years, Jesus is saying, there has been a question of where I was. It is not written or even known. In this, I will tell you, I was being under a great awakening of one with God the Father, and being transported to far-off lands to teach change, love, acceptance of self, and of course, of our beloved God. In time, I was brought back home to begin the true part of my mission. There is so much you don't know about my life on earth. Many of you have at have a true understanding of my light and my blood. I am that I am. I live within you. My light is your light. My words will last forever. You do not think I know all the universe and all its secrets and lives it holds. I know everything. I hold all in my hands. The time of truth is the way, and I am the truth in my Father's house. Many of you seek a community of church fellowship. This is if you must, but do not be misled. These buildings have grown large from your monies only. Does it hold the house of the Lord? Does it sustain all loving kindness and joy? Or does it hold judgment, anger, self-righteousness, or even malice? I thought that was very strong. And I go, malice? You really mean malice? And it says, write it down. And I did. Okay. So anybody have any questions before we go into the channeling? I have a little bit of allergies because I have fans blowing on me, so I hope you guys can hear me okay. Cool. Hi, everybody. All right, let's go into the channeling. And we are going to, I'm going to turn this off because it kind of distracts me. Sorry, guys, just a second. And behind me, you're going to see my interpretation. I wanted to paint Jesus. I did this several years ago. And so he turned out kind of folksy. But on his clothes, it shows the beginning. It has the dove of peace, it has the world, and it's basically the creation. And then around him is Christ consciousness. You'll see little orbs coming out of his head, which is Christ consciousness. And he's kind of in a place of Gethsemane. So that is my interpretation of Christ, and I have it on my channel. I have it a little bit higher price because I love it so much. But if someone really wants it, I just don't want to give it away. I did have a church that was thinking of buying it, but I haven't heard back from them. But they were really considering it, so I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to move this back. Okay, I think you guys can see me okay. Okay, so what I'm picturing, and I always do a visual when I do prayers many times, and I visualize Christ. I have a path that I walk down in a forest, and it's like a redwood forest. And in this path, I'm wearing whatever, doesn't matter, but I'm always barefoot. I come to a clearing, and there's logs lining this clearing that's kind of octangle, and he's always sitting on a log waiting for me. And then we talk, or we just sit. And we just are together, where I could just feel his love. So, and that's the place I'm going to go right now. And he has been here. He's been telling me, I'm ready. I'm here. I think Jesus, in everybody's mind, you have your own interpretation of Christ and what he looks like. And he tells me that doesn't matter what he looks like. That is the least of who he is how visual you see him. And he's saying, I am that I am. Do you feel the energy of God? Do you feel you have a place in this world? Even though you are a human species, you have consciousness, a derivative of God within you. Until you inspect that derivative that is in your body, you will never understand me fully. You can read the good book that has been around, or you can talk directly to me, which is my goal for all of you, to communicate with me, which is with the God source. I am that I am, which is a part of you, which is the universe, which is bigger than you can understand. You do not have the mind capacity to understand. We have not given you that. You are not meant to have that. You're not meant to know all. You are meant to know a derivative of being, of consciousness, of awareness. This is your journey. This is your mission. As you know, your world is creeping in closer to you with all its ills, lies, deception, and misunderstandings. We have allowed this to happen because without truth, without lies, how would you know the difference? Which is right and which is wrong? It must be. This is our plan. Most of you have joined me in your energy, in your consciousness. Most of you have raised your souls, raised them high, come to an understanding of self, come to understanding of mission, come to understanding of kindness and love, the highest vibration of all. Some of you are confused. Don't be. Many of you have the mindset of the ages. Why do you think I came upon the earth? Because things were becoming misguided, harmful, mean, cruel. Man was being disrupted. They lost their way. They saw nothing but corruption. So I, God, in the deepest seed of corruption, planted myself down in the midst of it all. Thus, change. You have heard the words of my early years. I had to go through my own awakening process, just like you. I am no different, except I am that I am, which you have in you. The journey that you are going through is the journey that I have gone through. I understand it fully. And once I was fully aware of my mission, then I could not be corrupted. I was pure and I was purified, sanctified, glorified in God. Many that followed me, once they felt the energy of this, dropped everything they had and walked with me with no riches, with no fame, with no gold. They came with me as I asked them to follow me because they felt the energy of my soul and God. But I am not here on this earth now, but yet you still follow me. For I have said, those that follow me without seeing me, you will be more glorified in heaven. The time has come. The harvest is almost ready. It is waxing strong. It is pushing out the evil. Stay strong with me. Stay strong in me. Stay strong for me. Because of your belief in something higher than yourself, you are blessed. You have the crown of glory upon your head, which you cannot see. There will be a day that is how we will find you, by your crown of suffering to glory. Understand my words. Understand my peace. Stay with me. Abide with me, and you will be successful in all your days, in all your woes. Bring your problems unto me, or through me, or through vessels that I place before you that trust in me, that hold me in their hearts. And this is good. My energy is too strong for this vessel. I must go. I love you all. You are a part of me, and I am a part of you. Stay with me. Abide with me. Work with me. And we all will be successful. Amen. Okay. Yeah, the last channeling that I did last Sunday wiped me out totally because the energy was so strong. And sorry, my foot just went asleep. And so I was wondering how long I could do that because his energy is so strong that it wipes me out. I might look fine now, but then I get wiped out because sometimes channeling takes a lot of energy. And when you have a powerful energy come in, I get third eye headaches, and I usually have to rest quite a bit. So, wow, okay. Ooh, I only cried a little bit. Good. It's so funny because I see them scanning you guys. And I think, David, he was honing in on you. I saw you. He kept looking at you. He was looking at your heart. So I think you have a special mission that you're in progress of doing. And he was very honing in on you, David. Is very interested in your heart. So continue on, whatever you're doing, and stay in place, he says. Stay in place until you're called out. That's what he said. Okay. Any questions for me? He's still here, so I might be able to see if I can bring it forth. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Ashley. Hi, Kathleen. Always good to see you, Kathleen. Love you. Love you, everybody. I think it was very interesting that he said we have a derivative of him in us, and to focus on that. And I think I had a really weird dream last night, and I'm going to talk about two different things. In this dream, I was someplace, a world that had plants that were very different from anything I've ever seen, but they were alive. They were like alive, like humanoid, but plants. And I don't know if I was talking to them in my head or if they were actually speaking, but some of the plants had faces, flowers, like plants. And when I mean seeing plants, I mean flowers. And they would evolve into different species of flowers. And they were kind of translucent. And it was just very complex, but they could communicate, and they were talking, and they had thought, and they were big. They were almost as tall as I am, 5'5". And so I thought that was very interesting. Petri, he saw everybody. He was scanning everybody. So he's scanning you now. He will scan those that come in later and watch this. But he knows you, and you just ask him. And you know what? Sometimes you need to ask him, do you see me? Do you hear me? Do you understand me? And wait for an answer. And you'll get a lot of that in your meditation too. And Petri, that's so cool about that license plate, because of course he sees you. Look what he showed you prior to coming on here today. He was saying hi basically through that, I think. Sometimes he wants to give you something in your life that you go, he does know me. He cares. And of course he does. We all do. So the second part was the heart. And you know, the heart is very, 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 very important. So the heart, it was like I was, again, someplace else. And I just had this beam coming out of my heart. And it was so strong, this beam. And it was just like a funnel of energy. And I don't know where it was going or where it was going to, but it was just amazing. Like my heart just opened up, whoop, and this energy just came out of my chest. It was pretty cool. So, and of course you wake up and you go, I should write that down. Yeah, well, if you don't write it down, you're not going to remember. So, and I didn't write it down, so I don't remember. So anybody have any other questions? So email me if you have anything. A family member, it doesn't have to be just you. It can be anybody, a friend that you feel needs some energy or healing. Let's try to see if I can get a group together that we can meet together, possibly through Zoom, or we can just text, or we can do something where we can communicate in our energies together and see if we can help our fellow men and heal them with energy, because many of you are light workers. And I think the masses, I know there's a church I have here, and before I had my surgery on my head, I put in a prayer, and I swear that's brought the skill of the surgeon that got all the cancer off my head, and he saved my life. And I woke up with 22 staples in my head, and you can't even see that I have half my head shaved off in the center because all my hair grew back. Even the surgeon goes, I'm so excited about what I did, because he would look at it like an artwork, like you're going, wow, that was really good. And he did really good surgery. My hair grew back. I just have a few bald spots, and he got all the cancer off my head. So I really take it to putting a call out to the church because it helps in masses. One person can help a lot, but just think if we can get 5 to 10 people and put that energy out and shoot it into the universe or shoot it to somebody else to help them. I think it's really cool. So is this a good time to take a risk for the light? Can you explain, Kathleen, what a risk for the light means? Or do you want to email me what you mean if you didn't want to put it on here? Oh, and I want to thank everybody for going to my Etsy store. I've been having a really good time doing blind readings. I really have had such a good time, and it seems like every blind reading I'm getting a vision of a past life. And so I think I just give you a past life, and it's just a step. And it's a step to have you awaken and understand a little bit, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, some of us are maybe thinking or of taking on new energetic roles. Pray about it. If it's energy of the light, never a bad thing. I think going deep within yourself, doing energy work, I've thought about many times, as you know, working with my hands, reading the book of having the light through the hands. I feel with me, it's going to happen, but it's not yet. I have a feeling I'm going to relocate, and I'm going to work with energy and light, and I'm going to work one-on-one with people. And I actually had this epiphany where I was going to go deeper. I'm not sure about Reiki. I know a lot of it's superficial, but I'm going to go deeper into the bodies where I can see things and either help people where things might be hidden in their body or maybe help heal it with energy. And I know I'm not going to walk this alone. I'm going to have a group with me, and we're all going to train together on this. And we're all going to live in the same area, and people will come to us. And we are going to start doing this, and this will be closer to the time of the mass awakening. I'm just going to say that. Or after the mass awakening. We will still continue to do energy work, and we will have light beings around us stronger. If you feel to do an energetic role, as long as it's positive, helping mankind, it's not harming anything, and it will enlighten you and elevate you, and you feel like maybe this is a calling, then you must do it. So that's what I have to say on that. Any other questions? Because I'm really going into intuitive reading on people here. So ask away. Any other questions? Okay. All right, you guys. This was super cool. And thank you so much for being here. And if you need anything, let me know. And life is good. It always throws us a curveball. And it always will throw us a curveball. Because I think that curveball helps us wake up. And I think in the last few years, we've had a major curveball, but it's actually made us wake up faster, I feel. Even though there's tragedy, it has made us wake up and become a community. And I think Jesus wants us to help our brothers and sisters because we all are one. We all are the same. And there's not one better than the other. We all are equal and we all are the same. Some of us may have different callings, and that's through divinity. David, will he come back and talk about the shift? You know, the shift is relative. The shift is like the rift. It's a rift of breaking open like a nutshell and opening up and finding that nourishment inside. He's saying the shift has already happened. The main shift happened when he came down on earth. Now the corruption has come pretty much full circle, and it is getting to be the same as it was in that day that he was told to come down, or his mission was to come down. So, due to this, they have brought the strongest of angels down upon the earth, and they actually are waking people up individually. You feel it, you know it. If you think of yourself several years back and see yourself now, you know the mission that you've had. You know the awakening that you have. You know the strength of the love that you have. It's almost like, he's saying, it's almost like fairies sprinkling fairy dust upon the lands. When you breathe it in, you awaken. If you are a light being. If you are a corruption, you just walk on the fairy dust. You don't see it. Because you can't, because you are blinded. Now he says, there is going to be a time where all this is going to pull together. Everything. From before him, like Adam and Eve, the beginning of the world, we're almost come. He says, like, here's the circle. Like, here's the circle. We're here. So we have this much more to go. So if you just think of, you know how on your computer when the thing spins and when it's loading and it's like, it goes, we're about here, he says. So we still have some work to do. It can't happen now because it's not time. We're not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready. What does that mean? Oh, the time frame's not ready. You can't make it happen too soon, else it could be destructive. Everything has to be ready. Everything has to be in place. He said the words that have been spoken here, which I believe was on through this vessel, are good and guided. But always you have discernment for yourself. He says you must find joy. You must find it. Sometimes that's hard because you let things consume you. I think he's reading me. You let things consume you, like your work, like outside influences, family, children. You let that consume you and you miss the point. And you can miss your blessings that way, he says. He says you must find joy. And how you find joy is to quiet your mind. And he says he knows when you sit down to meditate, sometimes it's hard to let go of the world and that you must practice. He's just asking you to practice. You don't have to be perfect. Nothing here will ever be asked of you of perfection. We just ask that you try and you give and you love. By the shift, I mean the earth plane. Oh. Okay. Thanks, David, for explaining that. Not at this time, he's saying. He said, oh, interesting. He's saying the earth will shift when it will be repaired. When it starts going into a reparative process. So as you see me fidget, I'm going into intuitive stance. So, okay. So how I talked about Lemuria and how it will be brought back down. It's a big ship. Some people accepted that. Some people did not. I was just giving you information. So I just give information. It's for you to discern about it yourself. Things then will shift because things will come back together, but it's not now. You're going to see earthquakes. You're going to see some movement of the planet. Nothing catastrophic. You're probably going to see more of the devastation through nature. Man is destroying the earth through fires. These are man. This is not of God. He says these fires are man. Man is destroying the earth because man is evil and corrupt and hates good and hates God. There are people like that. And these people are being led by Satanistic groups. And these Satanistic groups are telling them to do this, and they say, okay, they do it for money. Everything's for money in the corruption. Everything. Power and money. Mostly money. These people cannot attain enough. They can't attain enough money. Even though they have millions, they want billions, they want trillions. They want more, because they're not satisfied. They'll never be satisfied. Okay. Hi, typical watch. Okay. So, David, any other questions on that to clarify? Am I not covering what you're saying? Oh, you're talking about moving to the 5D. See, you've talked about that before. And that is a earth term. That's irrelevant, he says. People that talk about these dimensions are so they have their own understanding of the evolvement of spirit, the evolvement the dimensions that the world will go through are on a time frame. The Elohims are in control of the time frame of the shifts and dimensions that you're talking about. They don't call it dimensions. They're levels of attainment. When the earth has gone through levels of attainment, which are power, energy, knowledge. He says that Elohims are the ones that have that time clock, who work directly with the God source and the Jesus source. But they are the caretakers of what you would call dimensions. They don't call it that. Because if you think about dimensions, 5 is not enough, they're saying. It's not equal to the parameters of the knowledge of the ancient ways. But if you need to use dimensions, we have gone already into the 5th dimension. If the Elohim are saying if they understand that correctly. But they don't see it this way because it's limiting. It's man-made. Okay. What's the best way to get in touch of my own healing energies? If I have that gift, I would like to share it and help others as well. Then join me. Join me, because you will grow stronger and stronger as we all work together. Let me ask them though, what is the best way to get in touch of my own healing energies? Is this Lila? Is 0 Point Lila? Okay, I don't know if you're listening. Okay. They're saying you are a light being. That has angelic realms attached to you. You need to get out of your own way. You need to understand your discomforts. You need to understand your soul contract. You have a contract, and that can be revealed to you as you start working and studying your mission. You need to read good books. The books will come to you. The words that need to come to you will come to you. You will be drawn to things to watch, to see, to understand all of the light. Don't be misguided by family. Don't be discouraged by family or friends. And at this time, maybe not discuss things with them. Go within, do this in private until you are strong. Until judgments and words can bounce off you and you don't care anymore because you know where you're going. And they're saying, understand this. Who is them communicating with you? Who is them communicating with me? There are other light beings that interesting. They're people that surround the Jesus source. They are light beings. They have no planetary dimension. They've never had a body. They are light. They are light beings, which you are a part of them. We all are a part of them. There's a mass amount of them. So it's just like you would see a humanoid figure walking towards you, and they are just a beam of light, white-ish blue light, which is energy. And they surround the Jesus source. They are his dimensional workers. They are his dimensional workers. And they will give us sight. They will give us knowledge when it's time for us to attain this knowledge. Many of you are wanting to go so fast because you're excited. Maybe you must slow down. One step at a time. We can't divulge too much to you because it will overwhelm you. It will confuse you because you have a mindset of the world and what the world has taught you. We have to break you free from that world before we can teach you, show you, give you dreams, lighten you, lift you up, heal you. So we are the light beings. We are the true light beings, which you also will know us. You will know us if you see us, because we have surrounded you. We know you. I think what they're saying is they're your guardian angels, basically. I think that's what they're saying. Will the earth plane be restored to its original state? The earth plane. Before being human began to destroy its beauty. Yes. It will be. That's why he was talking about we're this far. Once we get to this connection, we have a energy eruption that is going to be electrifying all over the world. It's going to massively explode all over the world. That's why he was saying they will know you by the crown on your head. That is the time that you will come forth, and they will know which ones by the crown on your head. The angels, the light beings, please. There's two other races that I don't know their names. They're the elongated heads, and they're blue. They all will be walking the earth during this explosion of energy, an explosion of light. During that explosion, we will not see it, but there's going to be a mass renewal of the earth. Thus will be our existence, because we will be led, just like Jesus walked through the lands. People dropped everything and followed him. This will come again. What does that mean? Is it possible to emulate poverty in our lifetime? I live in poverty. What are you talking about? Poverty compared to the rest of the world. I feel fine with where I'm living. I think you come to an understanding about the realms of how people live. From this spectrum to this spectrum. Doesn't matter. Nothing you can live in a hut, because that hut's going to be gone one day, and you're going to walk away from it. I think the less that you have, the easier it'll be to walk away from it one day when we're called out. Riches mean nothing. All these people that have multi-million-dollar homes, which is fine, it's fine, and they enjoy the great comforts of life, but the higher they are up, the harder they fall. The lower you are, the less you have to fall, and you come to a quicker understanding. Okay, wait 1 second. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Kathleen. Oh, okay. Thank you. Can we emulate lack of food? Oh, eliminate lack of food. Sorry, I can't see. Can we eliminate lack of food, lack of fresh water, and lack of shelter? Can we eliminate it? You mean for others, David, or yourself? Or for other lands that are in poverty? There is a reason why there is poverty in different lands. There's a reason for that. And the reason is basically the caretakers of the land, the government of the land, creates poverty. It's almost like a mark on their head. Through generations. It's a generational thing. Because there's lands that are of poverty with good people, and they're just caught up in the corruption. Yes, if you could direct your energies to such poverties, to such lands, to such people, through your meditation, direct your energies there, it will help. Direct your energies to the companies that are helping these issues, direct your energies there. You can help anything. You guys don't realize how powerful you are in your mind. When you understand that power and you feel you have a mission, you must attain it. So you may ask all these questions, but you know the truth, they say. You know how to get there because you have been trained in this knowledge. You might have forgotten your knowledge, and that's why you need to bring it forward. You can change the world. One person, one can change the world. It's been shown to you over and over that one person can change the world. And sometimes in your life, the world is one person. You can just help one person, and that is the world. Now, I know, but David, there's a reason for suffering. And sometimes there's no reason for suffering. Look at the Holocaust. I wrote a book on it. One day I'll get it published. And I did a lot of research on the Holocaust. No reason. There's no reason. And I was so mad at God for letting that happen. And then I had to pull back. Because maybe there's never any understanding. There's just repair. If you feel a calling to go forth on something, then go for it. But sometimes evil makes no sense to the light. And you're saying, why is this happening? Why is this allowed? There's no reason. There's no answer, because that's God. It's up to God. And evil is a dimension of untrust, they're saying. They said, you will never comprehend why such things surround you. Okay, they're pulling back their power. David, you're going to have to go within yourself on this to go a little bit deeper. This is within you. They're pulling back on that. I can't answer any more on that. It's just, that's why, you know, cruelty to animals. I can't watch anything about that. It hurts my heart, and I just can't stand it. The more sensitive you become, the more you can't stand it. You can't stand it. You can't stand seeing evil. You can't stand abusive children. You can't stand it. Because it's darkness. But what you can do is you can pray. You can bring your energy forth. You're never going to change the world, and you shouldn't focus on changing the world because it's too big. You'll become frustrated over it. You need to hone it down small, and then you go wide. Okay? So David, and once you get your YouTube channel going up and you start moving forward in your own energy, you need to start thinking small and then going big. You can change the world. You have it in you. You have the knowledge in you. You have the training in you. You have the words in you. So you need to go with that. And they said you need to start smaller. You're trying to go too big. It's just like you're trying to, and you won't attain anything because you'll be frustrated and you'll be disappointed. So until you can find control of your energy and of your focus, and you start moving forward, and it's baby steps. Look, I've been on this YouTube channel for over 3 years, and now is like the time that it's exploding. And I didn't mean for any of this to be successful. I did it because I was told to. And I started small. And now I'm going bigger, because if I went bigger, then ego would come into place and I might be misguided by other people. So now I'm going small because I'm able to control my outcome. I'm able to control my thoughts, my deeds, and I'm able to have an understanding. And because there's some people that will come into your life that will try to misguide you. You have to be in place so you can see that deception. Okay. I think all this. I think all this is man-made. We should be able to reverse it. You can reverse it, but it's so big, David. It's so big. And I understand your heart because you have such a good heart. So you have a good heart. So I think you need to take, you actually could probably teach me more than I could teach you. So you need to get your YouTube channel going, and you need to think about that and focus on that, and then let me subscribe to it, and everybody else subscribe to it, because you have the training, you have the knowledge. Okay, that really makes sense. Okay, you guys, I think we're like way past time. So I love you all. Thank you. And that was really cool. That was cool doing some channeling with you guys here. So bring your questions next week. If anybody wants to email me, let me know. And love you all. Have peace this week. Be of good cheer. And enjoy your families. Enjoy your animals. And be good. Love you. Bye, guys. Peace out. Bye.